This is ABC7 News at 5:30. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Welcome back. Recent storms and rainfall on the Suncoast have mosquito control workers working around the clock.
Some parts of the county have noticed an increased number of mosquitoes, putting residents on defense mode outdoors. ABC7's Dwayne Lindo joins us now with some answers into what's going on. I know we've noticed it, Dwayne.
Well, guys, for one, there are only a handful of Sarasota County personnel to help control the various mosquito species here in the county. But officials point to one notable species of mosquito that is causing many to stay inside.
For Noel Casillas, doing work outdoors has been extremely difficult as of late.
Mosquito is constantly biting your legs, your arms, your neck, and I could definitely feel it more this year than last year, definitely.
And he's not alone. Many residents in local neighborhoods have noticed a spike. Sarasota Mosquito Control Director Matt Smith says there's been a population increase countywide.
So we pretty much had everything that you didn't want to have happen in mosquito control happen in June.
And while the numbers are just now starting to decline, June has been a nightmare month for Smith and his crew. The county is in the clear of disease-carrying mosquitoes, but there is one species in particular posing a problem.
The good thing about them is they're not very keen to bite humans. They're not aggressive at all, but they really love to fly around you and they like to hang out at your door. But we've seen just massive increases in the populations of Culex nigripalpus.
An increase that can be a nuisance for many.
We are spraying a little more this year, but that's to be expected when you have a larger population spike.
With only a small group of technicians covering more ground, Smith anticipates adding staff in the future.
So as the population grows, naturally we're going to see more service requests regardless of the conditions because there's just more people to call.
Encouraging those who have extremely high populations around their area to contact mosquito control immediately.
And we need to know where mosquito problems are because we have a network of traps all over the county, but they're like anything, there can be gaps in coverage. Our trap might indicate a low population, someone else might be experiencing a locally heavy, so we need to know that.
Something Casillas says he will take advantage of.
Right now it's pretty bad, but if it gets any worse, I'll definitely have to give him a call.
Now, in terms of staff, Smith is looking to add one full-time staff member and a handful of seasonal staff within the next year, saying this will help cover more ground within the county. Back to you.
Thank you, Dwayne. And we've had a lot of rain today. We know that standing water is just a breeding ground for these mosquitoes. So once these storms are done, we got to clean all that up.
Well, and it's everywhere. You know, every ditch, drainage ditch you look at,
you can't do anything about that.
They're full right now.
Right.
Let's get more on our stormy weather this afternoon with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan.
Well, some improving news. The severe thunderstorm warning has expired for Manatee County. That did include Parrish and parts of Ellington, as well as just on the western edge of I-75 near Palmetto and Braden. That storm has now dropped below severe limits. It's still producing some heavy rainfall along I-275 and Interstate 75. That is starting to wind down, too. Behind it, a line of light showers stretches across parts of South Sarasota, all the way through parts of Northport down near Inglewood. But the news is that the heavy weather, the severe threat, is over now for us. Now the continues to be a problem is the heavy rainfall that has caused some flooding problems. Some minor flooding taking place in the area in green that you see there, or could be some ponding of the water over the roadways there as a result of up to 3 inches of rainfall in just a short period of time. A live sweep of the radar still showing some rain near Palmetto, Rabonia along I-275, the Sunshine Skyway Bridge. Anna Maria didn't get as much today. Northwest Braden, it got a little bit of rainfall, but again, most of the heavy weather was along I-75 near Ellington, stretching down to Lakewood Ranch. Although right there, town center didn't get as much, but just to the south, near Bee Ridge, up to 3 inches of rain, and 1.6 right there along State Road 64 near Waterleaf, and then 3.9, and that's the highest I could find, and that's near Venice along I-75. And again, the light to moderate rain continuing here from Inglewood all the way stretching just to the west of Northport, moving to the northwest at 10. Currently, it has cooled down after a high today into the low 90s at 77. Rain cool there, always the benefits of these afternoon storms. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. Now to new details about a meeting between candidate Donald Trump's inner circle and a Russian lawyer with suspected ties to the Kremlin.
Critics questioning why Donald Trump Jr., did not initially disclose the meeting or why it took him a few attempts to explain the reasons behind it. ABC's Emily Rao has the latest from Washington.
Team Trump playing defense Monday after a New York Times report revealed the president's eldest son agreed to a meeting with a Russian lawyer in exchange for damaging information about Hillary Clinton. Sarah Huckabee Sanders saying nothing about Don Jr.'s meeting was inappropriate.
There was simply no collusion that they keep trying to create that there was.
Kellyanne Conway coming to his defense on GMA.
He didn't even know her name, though, George. He had no idea who this person was until she entered the room.
And now that detail raising eyebrows. Why Donald Jr. would agree to a meeting at Trump Tower with an unknown Russian lawyer who has ties to the Kremlin and invite two of the most powerful people on the Trump campaign, Paul Manafort and Jared Kushner, to join him. After first saying the purpose of the meeting was to discuss Russian adoptions, he now says it was to learn about information that would hurt Hillary Clinton. Trump Jr. saying the Russian attorney's statements about the Democrat were vague, ambiguous, and made no sense. When the topic turned to Russian adoptions, he claims the meeting ended. Democratic Senator Jack Reed weighing in on CNN.
That's essentially going to a foreign power and asking for help in the election.
But Republican Senator Roger Wicker downplaying its significance.
I just think that's pretty much of a great big nothing when it comes to whether there was some sort of collusion.
Republican Senator Susan Collins said today the Intelligence Committee should interview Don Jr. as part of its probe into possible collusion between the Trump campaign and Russia. Don Jr. tweeting back that he'd be happy to do so. Emily Rao, ABC News, Washington.
The clock is ticking again on Republican efforts to repeal and replace Obamacare. Senate Republicans are back on Capitol Hill today. At least 10 moderate and conservative Republican senators are not supporting a new repeal bill, effectively killing its passage. But some senators say there is still hope to honor a Republican election promise to get rid of the Affordable Care Act.
I believe Republicans can come together to honor that promise, and I think the way to do it is to focus on lowering premiums.
President Trump is positive Congress will get this new bill passed, tweeting today, quote, "I cannot imagine that Congress would dare to leave Washington without a beautiful new health care bill fully approved and ready to go." But Republicans have just 15 available workdays to pass a bill before their upcoming August break.
In London, the British High Court has adjourned until Thursday as it reconsiders a case that asks the most challenging questions of what is right and wrong. It's centered around an 11-month-old baby named Charlie Gard. Gard was born with a rare disease called mitochondrial DNA depletion syndrome. It's caused by a genetic mutation and leads to weak muscles and organ dysfunction. The child has been in intensive care in London since October. His parents want to bring him to the U.S. for an experimental treatment, but the court sided with the hospital to take him off life support.
Another person has been killed by an exploding Takata airbag inflator, but the death was not the result of a crash. Honda says a man died in June of last year when an airbag inflator ruptured while he was working inside a 2001 Honda Accord using a hammer. Honda says the car's ignition switch was on, so the airbag would have been ready. But it's not clear yet what the man was doing or what set off the airbag. Honda says it was recently made aware of the death, which happened in Hialeah in South Florida. This is the 12th death in the United States from these faulty inflators and the 17th worldwide.
Despite widespread opposition, a sweeping education bill is now law in Florida. The law calls for things like mandatory recess and additional teacher bonuses. But the provision that drew the most opposition is a call for districts to share millions of local taxpayer dollars with private charter schools. In total, the Associated Press reports Florida charter schools will receive more than $96 million this year alone under this new law. The Broward County School Board is now suing over the measure, calling it unconstitutional, but proponents say it could offer educational opportunities to thousands of Florida students.
They're not giving us enough money for us to be able to keep up with the rising costs. They're not, and they're just not thinking about it.
I think the charter schools are a good thing. I don't think that zip code should determine a child's education.
Tonight on ABC7 News at 7, we'll hear from educators about the new bill and what it might mean for students on the Suncoast.
Some people living on the island of Venice are growing increasingly concerned about coyotes. Photos taken by Venice resident Daniel Cole show what appears to be a coyote walking around a neighborhood. In the past, coyotes have attacked small dogs and chased some residents. Venice police and Florida Fish and Wildlife have been working to identify coyote dens. However, FWC believes removing the coyotes is not a viable option. The fear is if the current coyotes are removed, more coyotes would move in and take their place. In the meantime, residents are urged to keep a good distance from the animals if you do see them out. Typically early morning or in the evening hours, you might see a coyote.
Especially if you have your dog with you.
Yeah.
Need to be aware of that.
Definitely.
So be safe.
Still to come in your Suncoast News, finding an antidote to dementia.
How researchers are using brain games to study how to best tackle Alzheimer's. That's coming up next.
Now's the perfect time to work with California Closets. During our Shades of White event, save up to 20% on our beautiful white finishes for any space in your home. Contact us today for your free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential. There's no cost and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters. Call the IVC Filter Hotline if you or a loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089. 800-329-3089.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
Summer clearance. Get your free $100 gift certificate to the first 100 customers who purchase $500 or more. And pay no interest for 1 full year with same-day pickup or next-day delivery. This special purchase 7-piece set, now $3.99. This dual reclining sofa with drop-down table and cup holders in beige or brown, $4.99. This Florida white bedroom set, $5.99. At the Furniture Warehouse in Sarasota, Bradenton, Venice, Port Charlotte, and Ellenton.
And save big. I'm Alan Cohn. Funding Florida's charter schools. A new education bill requires districts to give these schools money, but it is already facing legal challenges.
Tonight on ABC7 News at 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Now's the perfect time to work with California Closets. During our Shades of White event, save up to 20% on our beautiful white finishes for any space in your home. Contact us today for your free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Could the solution to Alzheimer's be found in a game? A new study takes a look. ABC's Janae Norman has the findings.
The daily crossword in the newspaper, a book full of Sudokus, mental games to stay sharp and hopefully stave off Alzheimer's are all the rage. One popular website in particular, Lumosity, charges for brain games to help players improve their minds and ward off dementia. But in a new study, researchers at the University of Pennsylvania took 128 young people, assigning half of them to complete 10 weeks of training on this video game platform, the other half assigned to play regular video games of their choice. When both groups had cognitive testing, they found both posted nearly identical rates of improvement in various measures, suggesting the specifically designed games were no better than video games in general. Important to note, of course, that this test was in young, healthy volunteers, not the intended audience for brain training games. But it goes to show how much more we need to learn before we can find an antidote to dementia. With this Medical Minute, I'm Janae Norman.
Good. Now let's head over to Bob and get a check on our rainy forecast.
That's right. Rain around still at this hour. It's been heavy at times. The severe weather threat, though, is over for us. We are still looking at the possibility of some minor flooding taking place in some of the roadways due to the excessive amount of rainfall in just a short period of time. We had torrential rains around. You saw that with the Van Wezel webcam review, and now skies are starting to break a little bit here, and the rain is starting to lessen across Sarasota and Manatee counties after a fairly active afternoon of showers and thunderstorms, a couple of which turned severe. Had some small hail reported near Northport, where they saw a tremendous amount of rainfall there, but that severe storm is now moved northward. These are all storm reports up into Pinellas County near St. Petersburg. Winds gusting as high as 40 to 45 miles an hour at MacDill Air Force Base as well. But that intense rainfall that was around earlier has since moved on. The rainfall rate's now at about a quarter an inch an hour as opposed to 2 to almost 3 inches an hour. So that is a big difference. Still, though, some rain falling from Inglewood up near Venice and stretching northward. The flood advisory in effect for the next half hour for northern portions of Manatee County, right along I-75 from Parrish to Ellington, southward to State Road 70. And then the rainfall, as I said, was impressive. In some areas up to nearly 4 inches of rain in just a short period. There's I-75, and there near the Venetian, there had some heavy rainfall there. Also, right there near West Price Boulevard and Sumter, we had up to almost 3 inches of rainfall as a result of that one squall that moved on through there earlier today. Now we are anticipating more rain, though, in the forecast, especially the latter half of this week, Thursday, Friday, and even into Saturday. There's a tropical wave that we're watching. There's indications are that this may develop fairly soon. The next 4 or 5 days, we'll keep an eye on it. It's way out there in the Atlantic, so no concern right now. But the remnants of 4 are starting to show a little bit more rebound here with some deep convection developing what appears to be the center. That, by the way, is going to be moving in our direction. Now, we're not anticipating it to be a tropical depression or anything like that. However, it will bring some increased moisture availability to these storms in the afternoon and evening, and that, too, could cause some torrential rains anywhere from Thursday, Friday, up until Saturday as the moisture kind of lingers by. The dry air has been replaced now. That had been in effect for us, I should say last week, but now that dry air is moving on. And the dry air that had been around that remnant low is now moving away too, so we'll see how that plays out. Currently, we have some clouds and some light rain at the airport, 75 on the temperature, and the dew point 71. So it's cooled down, really quite nice there. Winds are out of the east at 5, and the pressure is still fairly high at 30.07 inches. The high today, 91. That's 1 degree shy of the average. 96, the record set in 1992. Temperatures where it's rained, it's cooled. Temperatures into the mid to upper 70s in most places. And you can see that quite clearly on the temperature across our area. The Gulf water temperature at 90. The warmest reading, Avon Park and Wauchula, both at 86. Elsewhere, mid to upper 70s currently. Forecast looks like this tomorrow. Temperatures will warm again. We'll see a chance for a few showers late morning, early afternoon. Not enough really to mention much there, but the heavier rain will be again in the afternoon and evening. That's when we'll see the strongest cells building as the sea breeze kind of collides with that southeast wind. Southeast winds turn to the south and the west at 10 knots or less. A light chop out there, and the water temperature now at 90 degrees, and UV index will be at 9. Now the forecast tides upcoming 9:37. High tide will be at 3:42. And the forecast tonight, evening storms winding down, then partly cloudy after midnight, 75. Tomorrow, we'll do it all over again. High near 91 degrees, a good chance for late day storms. And the extended forecast does call for less of a chance on Wednesday. And then that tropical moisture starts to move in, especially late Thursday and in through the weekend. Back to you.
Thank you, Bob. Now to Suncoast Traffic Watch. Traffic is backed up on the Ringling Bridge. We're going to take a live look at our tower cam. Well, not too bad, actually. It looks like some of that has cleared up. People heading off of St. Armands back to Sarasota. It looks like both directions actually pretty nice now that the storm is over. Looking like a nice night.
You know, the news tonight, a federal judge has given preliminary approval for a $142 million settlement in Wells Fargo's fake account scandal. That money is for customers whose names were used to open millions of fake accounts. Back in September, Wells Fargo acknowledged the creation of 2 million potentially unauthorized checking and credit card accounts. The banking giant said unrealistic sales goals were to blame. The scandal led to the restructuring of those goals and the ouster of the company's CEO. A hearing for final approval of the settlement is set for early January.
Amazon Prime shoppers can start cashing in on major online deals starting tonight. The company is getting an early start on its third annual Prime Day. Amazon says it will offer new deals every 5 minutes for 30 hours beginning at 9 o'clock tonight. Discounts will be available on hundreds of thousands of items, but buyers will have to have an Amazon Prime membership that does cost about $100 a year. Prime Days have given Amazon massive sales bumps in the past.
And Amazon also planning to expand its operations here in Florida. The company will build a fulfillment center near Orlando International Airport. The online retail giant says the facility will open next year and have 1,500 full-time employees. Those workers will pack and ship small items like books, electronics, and consumer goods, and probably a lot of them too.
Especially after tonight and tomorrow.
Yeah.
This is like, if you're a shopping addict, this is not a good day. You have to like step away.
Things go on sale every 5 minutes. That's something new.
I'm glad I don't have a Prime membership because that would be really tempting. Yeah.
Entertainment news is next.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
This is an important medical announcement. Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to uncontrollable bleeding and even death. If you've been prescribed one of these drugs and have experienced these dangerous side effects, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that Pradaxa can cause more heart attacks than warfarin, and other countries have already issued safety warnings against this drug. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. The call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to Pradaxa victims, and thousands of Xarelto victims are filing their legal cases. Call the Drug Watch hotline if you or a loved one used Xarelto or Pradaxa and experienced uncontrollable bleeding, brain hemorrhage, or even death. You must call now.
Call 800-747-0618. 800-747-0618.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate or shop at Goodwill,
I am creating a job.
I am Goodwill, yeah.
Download ABC7's all-new official Suncoast weather app onto all your devices so you can stay informed wherever you go. With our full-featured all-new weather app, you can get weather alerts, interactive radar maps, current conditions, 10-day forecasts, traffic maps, and weather video from ABC7, all at your fingertips. And it's free. ABC7's all-new official Suncoast weather app, sponsored by Mr. Sparky. Just search Suncoast WX in the App Store and download yours today.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad, and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
A California judge is granting a restraining order against reality TV star Rob Kardashian from going near his former fiancée.
The order states Kardashian cannot post any information about Blac Chyna after he posted personal and explicit images of her on Instagram. Kardashian accuses her of using him for his fortune and of cheating on him. Kardashian's lawyer, though, apologized on behalf of his client and says they want to do what's in the best interest of the child they have together. A hearing in the case is set for August.
Los Angeles Dodgers commentator Vin Scully will receive the Icon Award at this year's ESPYs. The 89-year-old called Dodgers games for 67 years and retired this last fall. Other recipients of the Icon Award include Kobe Bryant, Derek Jeter, and Abby Wambach. The ESPYs will take place Wednesday night in L.A.
He is an icon. Rapper Jay-Z is announcing a new tour for his latest album, 444. The tour will kick off in Anaheim, California, and continue to other venues in Brooklyn, Nashville, Dallas, Atlanta. Jay-Z is also scheduled to perform at various music festivals, including Austin City Limits and his own Made in America festival. His new album is out now.
Niall Horan is announcing his first solo tour. The 23-year-old One Direction singer will open his first tour in his hometown of Dublin, Ireland, before heading to several other venues, including Tokyo, Sydney, and LA. Fans can also receive a free copy of Niall's new solo album if you attend any of the shows. Tickets go on sale this Friday.
HBO's Curb Your Enthusiasm will soon return for its 9th season. Larry David's hit sitcom first premiered in 2000. Seems like that long ago since we saw a new season. In June of last year, HBO announced it was bringing the show back. Since the success of the show, David has since penned a Broadway play and has made regular guest appearances on Saturday Night Live. The season premiere is set for October 1st.
A lot of excited people about that one.
Yeah, we've waited a long time for the new season.
And you've been seeing a lot of these shows come back, like Will and Grace is coming back, and you know, people get nostalgic. They want to see everybody reunite, so it's pretty exciting.
We'll be right back with more news. Stay with us.